Yes. So, hi everyone. Good evening. So, welcome to the new session of Jargon Buster. So, in today's session, we are going to discuss on a very practical topic: how to price your consulting business. So, when I say consulting business, it can be a service sector, it can be a IT company, it can be a chartered accountancy firm, it can be a legal firm. So, I've spoken to many people in the service sector, and me personally being in the service sector, this used to be one major challenge for me also. So unlike my other sessions, in this session I won't be having a PPT. I will be doing the entire session with an Excel. So I'll be actually kind of trying to build a rate card in a like kind of imaginary company, and try to kind of explain you how to uh, go around with the pricing part. Okay. So if at all you have any doubt in between, please feel free to interfere in between. Needn't wait for me to kind of have the Q&A session towards the end. Okay, fine. So I'll share my screen. I hope my screen is visible. If it's visible, please type in it's visible. Okay. Yeah. So, so I've actually kind of jotted down few steps here. So basically, these are the 7 steps which I have. Uh, I mean, where I have actually calculated the pricing for my company. So I've bifurcated the whole process into a 7 step, and it's actually a simple thing. Even though you might feel like it's very complicated, but this is actually a very simple concept, and I think everybody should be able to understand how to do this. Okay, so we'll go it step by step. Okay, so firstly, it's calculate the salary. So I'm actually creating a new sheet here. So we'll just put serial number. Is my screen do I need to zoom it a bit more? If I need to zoom it a bit more, please kind of.
Yes, it'll be good.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. I hope it's visible now. Okay. Yeah. So serial number here, I'm not using any name per se. I'll just use designation. Okay. And type of um, employee, and then salary. Okay. So suppose this is a consulting company, like it can be a legal firm, or it can be a CA firm, or whatever it is. So we'll be having in the top, maybe in the will come from bottom. We'll be having an intern. Say we have 2 interns. Okay. Okay, intern one, intern two. Then we have a junior consultant. Okay. We'll have 2 junior consultant. We'll have 1 senior consultant, maybe 1 team lead, 1 manager, and 1 managing partner. So I think this should be enough. So we have 8 employees working in this company. Okay. On top of that, sorry, we need to have an accountant who will be doing the in-house accounts of the company. We'll have an HR and admin associate. Okay. And we'll have an operations guy also who will be doing the office admin task and all those things. Okay. Uh, we'll have to adjust with my formatting. I have a bit of OCD, so I'll be adjusting everything properly. So intern is going to, so when I say type of employee, we are categorizing the employees into 2 types. So one is billable and the other one is non-billable. Okay. So your intern is going to be a billable resource. Both the interns, junior consultant would be billable, senior consultant would be billable, team lead would be billable, manager would be billable, managing partner also would be billable to an extent. Accountant is non-billable because he's doing the accounts of that particular company. So he's not. So I believe everybody knows the difference between billable and non-billable resource. So a billable resource is somebody whom we deploy to a project, and for that we charge the client. Okay, and non-billable is a client is an employee who does the office kind of things, like internal kind of things, who is not actually kind of billed to the client. Okay, so the HR and admin also manages our internal affairs. Okay, so we'll put here intern has say 20,000 salary, junior consultant has 45,000 salary, senior consultant has say 70,000 salary, team lead has 1 lakh salary, manager has 1.5 lakh, and managing partner have 2.5 lakh salary. The accountant would be having say 30,000, HR and admin would be having say 40,000, and the operations person would be having 25,000. Okay, I'm just putting random numbers. This has nothing to do with the specific role or anything. So what is the total of the salary? It's 7,95,000. So step one is completed here. So what is step one? It's calculating the overall salary. So this data your HR person or like your accountant would be having is what I believe. Okay, so this is the actual salary of the company, and now the step two is calculate other expenses. So we'll calculate the other expenses also towards the bottom itself. We'll do it in one sheet itself. So when I say other expenses, there would be rental expense. See, if you have any doubt, please interfere and ask in between. Okay. Suppose this this office have 50,000 rent monthly, and then we have say interest expense. Say they have around 30,000 interest monthly. Electricity charges say 25,000. Right. Then what can be some other expenses? Traveling expense say 50,000. Then we'll put some other expenses. That also will put 50,000. Okay. Yeah, internet also. Since Rajesh has told that, we'll take internet also. We'll put 10,000. Okay. So what is the total of other expense? It's coming to 2,15,000. Okay. Now we have the salary, we have the other expense. Now what is the total expense of this company? It's 7,95,000 plus 2,15,000. It's going to be 10,10,000 rupees. Okay. I hope this is clear till now. Now we'll move to the third step. It is calculate desired profit. Okay. For this company, like the founder of this company needs at least 50,000 rupees, sorry, 5 lakh rupees per month as profit. Okay. So the desired profit is 5 lakh rupees. Okay. Well, it can also be a percentage, or maybe like we'll take a percentage of the cost. So desired profit at say what? We'll put around 30% of cost. That would be okay, 3,30,000. Okay. So for this particular company, for them to attain uh, this amount of profit, they should actually have a billing of total required billing of 10,10,000 plus 3,03,000. So it's going to be 13,13,000. Okay. So I'm not considering depreciation or other expense and making it complicated. Like we even if there is depreciation also, you will add it to the other expenses. Okay. So the total required billing for this particular company is 13,13,000. This is clear for everyone now. Till now it's clear, no? How to arrive at realistic? See, it depends upon the industry, Krishna Kumar, and also like what the founder wants. For example, here the maybe like in consulting industry, typically the margins are much on a higher side. Typically, we have margins up to what 30-40% is fair, is what I believe. That should be there ideally, because it's a manpower intensive kind of task, and scalability is an issue. So people typically do it because they're able to make money from it. Okay. So there can be few industry standards you can refer in your industry, like what is the typical standard, and also like once you do the pricing, you will come to understand whether your pricing is high or low. Maybe at that point of time you'll have to lower the profit. Cool. So now we have the total required billing. Now the next step is bifurcate between billable and non-billable salary. This actually we could have done earlier itself, but I just given it as the fourth step. So I am writing here billable and here non-billable. So I'm just doing a summary formula. Okay, so here the billable salary is 7 lakh and non-billable salary is 7 lakh 95,000. So the billable salary is 7 lakh, non-billable is 95,000, total salary is 7 lakh 95,000. So again, if you double check here, the total of these three is coming to 95,000 here in the bottom, and the total of this is coming to 7 lakh. So we have got it correct there. Okay, it's clear now. Now I am going to the actual like kind of this is going to be the most critical step I would say in this, that is finding the multiplier. So now we have the total required billing. Okay, billing. Sorry, that is 7,95,000 plus 2,15,000 plus desired profit of 3,03,000. So total required billing is 13,13,000. Now what we are going to do is we will have to divide this amount by the billable salary. Okay, why billable salary is because billable people are the actual people who is bringing revenue to the business. Okay, so we need to apportion all the cost to that salary. So now we will be getting the multiplier, which is nothing but total required billing divided by billable salary. So in this case, the multiplier is going to be 1.88. This is actually a very critical step in this whole process because this multiplier depends your pricing and everything. Okay. Now what we are going to do is we need to, next step is find hourly cost of each employee. So when I say each employee, we can either do it in this manner, or we can club the roles and people who have the similar salary also. Okay, here we'll do it in the same manner. I'll create a new sheet for this now. So I'll just copy. We just need it till this much. Okay, non-billable, we don't need that breakup. Okay, now yeah. So hours in a day. We firstly, our idea is to calculate the hourly cost of these people. So the for example, this office works from 9 to 6. So we have 9 hours in a day. Maybe like kind of what is the idle time? Idle time can be lunch break, tea break, and all those things. Say we have 1 hour of idle time for every employee. So net hours is okay. Now what happens is we know that every employee may not be that productive. So and also like kind of every employee may not be working uh, throughout these 8 hours. So percentage of work. This again depends on your specific business and your intuition. For example, this intern works like kind of 80%. Like 80% of his 8 hours he is going to work. Okay. Similarly, intern two also works like that only. And junior consultant works say 75%. We'll keep it lower coming to the seniority level because senior consultant would be having some general task also, which is not actually like kind of maybe work allocation to the junior consultant, maybe clearing doubts to the interns. This can be this. If you ask me, is if it is billable, it is not directly billable. Maybe like kind of will may not be able to charge this to the projects. Also, there will be internal meetings. So senior consultant we will put it at 60%, and team lead will put it at 50%, and the manager again will put it at 50%, and the managing partner will put at 25% because he primarily takes care of sales and everything, and he involves in the work only to a very limited extent. Okay. Now we have 8 hours in a day, like net hours, and we have computed the percentage. Sorry, before this, we will compute the number of days also. Number of days in a month, working days in a month, we'll calculate, say, as 20 working days in a month. See, if anyone have any doubt, please ask. Okay, so it's 20 working days every month. So hours in a month is going to be 8 into 20. Okay, is it clear now? So now what we have hours in a month, and what is the percentage of work. So now we will multiply the hours in a month with the percentage of work and get the actual hours an employee works. Okay. So because that has to be the charge out rate to the client. So actual hours we'll put here. So that is nothing but 160 into 80%. Yeah, Krishna, you may ask the question.
Can you please repeat percentage work column J? How did we arrive at that?
Percentage is nothing but, like, for example, if there is 8 hours in a day, you know that interns are going to, like, end of maybe they'll be sitting simply. They'll be speaking to each other. You know that 20% of their work of the time they are not going to work properly. So we are keeping a buffer there. And when it comes to senior people, what we are doing is, like, end of they'll be having internal review meetings. They'll be having training sessions. They'll be clearing a lot of doubts to the junior people. So that is why we are reducing that percentage. I
Is
mean,
it like towards a project at a given
not
time,
towards
managing
the
partner
project.
only
In
does
a day, in a day,
25% work?
in a day, in a day, if there is 8 hours, only 80% of the time the intern is actually working. 20% is idle time for them, apart
Acha.
from the lunch break.
And then we are saying managing partner 75% is idle time. Like, just I
No,
know
no,
a
it's not
percentages are
idle time.
indicated.
So I'll tell you why managing partner is having 25% is because the remaining 75% he would be having sales meetings.
Okay, got it. So
Okay, so
work
this is,
work is not going
yeah,
in project.
actually, to the actual work, what percentage of their day is going to the actual work?
Understood. Thanks.
Okay, cool.
Yes.
Yeah. So this is the actual hours each person have for a month. Okay. Now we'll compute the hourly cost. So the hourly cost is going to be salary divided by actual hours. Okay. Now we have the hourly cost. Okay. Now we need to find the charge out rate. For that, what we need is multiplier. And multiplier we have calculated in the earlier stage, which is 1.88. So I'm putting it here evenly over every column. Now we will find out the charge out rate. Charge out rate is nothing but this one hourly cost into multiplier. So now what we have to do is, if an intern is working in a client's project for 1 hour, we'll have to charge the client 293 rupees 8 paise per hour that intern is working. Similarly, when it comes to managing, so I'll just freeze here. Okay. Similarly, if it's a senior consultant, we'll have to do 1367.71. Okay. Team lead 2344.64. So this is going to be the hourly charge out rate of each of these people. Okay. Now we have find out the charge out rate in the step 7. Now we will try to create a rate card. Okay. This is going to be the rate card. I'll just zoom the. So a particular client asks for, say, some work, and we want to create a rate card. So when I say rate card, it's going to be which employee is going to work how much hours in that project. This is something what the founder or the management should have clarity on. So that is why time tracking is very important in a consulting business. You need to track the time because there will be an average and standard time. There will be employees who may be doing X amount of work in say 10 hours, and there would be other employees who can do it in say 5 hours. But we'll have to consider what? We'll have to consider the average, because this 10-hour employee may be an average person. If he kind of sits simply and waste time only, he'll be doing it in 20 hours. So we'll have to take that extreme cases in both the ends. If there is an unproductive employee, that is something you will have to fix internally. If there is a overproductive employee, you cannot expect other employees to complete the task in that rate. In that case, you are going to charge the client a lower rate. Okay. Now we have serial number here. We'll put type of employee or designation, hours required, charge out rate, final price, or whatever it is. Okay, so we are considering a project, say X. So in this, the intern is there. The intern is have to do most of the heavy lifting. I mean, not I would say heavy lifting, that's the wrong term. The intern will have to work the most number of hours typically. The junior person would be working more number of hours. For example, if you look at a consulting firm like a CA firm, most of the work is done by our junior people. Where my time or team lead's time actually coming would be to review the work, to coordinate with the client, to clear the specific queries related to that project, to have the kickoff call and all those things, to do the internal review specific to that project. This is where actually seniors time would be going. So intern, say we'll expect this intern to work what 200 hours in this project. It's a 1.5 to 2 months project. So what is the charge out rate of the intern? It is 293.08. Okay, we'll do the multiplication towards the end. We have another junior consultant also working in this project. So the junior consultant would be working for say 50 hours. We'll put the charge out rate towards the end. I'll delete this also. Then we have the second junior consultant also working in this project, but that person we are using only 25 hours. Then we have the senior consultant working in this project for say 10 hours, or I'll say 15 hours. We have the team lead working on this project for say 10 hours. We have the manager working on this project for 5 hours. And we have the managing partner working for this project in say 2 hours. Okay. These are actually based on the estimate and the historic data of the company. So if you are starting something new and you don't know what's going to be the hours that will take, you will have to run the operations for a while and figure it out, or you will have to go with industry standards. So I'm putting the charge out rate for each of these people. Okay. Now we'll arrive at the price here. So the price is going to be hours required into charge out rate. So this intern itself would be requiring 58,000 of billing. Okay. And now the final thing is to total this thing up. So now once you total, you have 1,96,363.84 coming. Here maybe you can keep another buffer of say 20%. Why? Because there is going to be possible negotiation with the client. Okay. So now we'll total this 20%. So these are tips what I am telling. You can do it in your own way. Maybe you can round it off to next 5,000, because when you give the proposal, it's always going to be round numbers, right? We'll do around say to 5,000. So sorry. Maybe we'll put 2,40,000. So this would be the rate what we are going to quote the client. Okay. And see, one thing what I have noticed, especially in the Indian landscape, is that Indian economic landscape and the Indian business thing is that hourly rate is not typically accepted by clients. If you give the client a quote like this is the number of hours this person is like, see, this sort of pricing may work in the US. I mean, giving this sort of a quote to the client would work in US because typically it's like that there. But in India, if you try to give a quote mentioning the intern is going to work 200 hours, junior consultant is going to work 50 hours, it won't work ideally. So that again becomes another room for negotiation. So it's better like kind of you give a flat rate, like you give the proposal for 2,40,000, but you know your the rock bottom that you can come is 1,96,000, because if you come below 1,96,000, what happens is that you are going to be in loss. Okay. Now suppose this person has to increase the profit to say 40%. So what happens is the multiplier becomes 2.02. Typically everything changes here. Now the rate is going to be what? 2,11,000 is going to be the rate. Okay. And now the billing is going to be what? 2,53,762.50. So this is how you arrive at the, and you can round it off and give say what, 2,60,000. So this is how we do the entire process. Again, step one is calculating the salary, which we did here. Okay. Step two is calculating other expenses, which again we did here. Then we computed the total required billing, which is we arrived at the desired profit, and then we computed the total required billing. Okay. And we bifurcated the salary into billable and non-billable, and we divided the total required billing by billable salary and got the multiplier, because all the other costs has to be absorbed by the billable salary people, because they are the people who is going to bring revenue to the business. Okay. After that, we created this lengthy sheet. Yeah, Krishna Kumar, you can ask the question.
So just one doubt. If we give a flat pricing and then let's say the project requires longer time to finish because of things that are out of our control, then like is there any way to not go in loss and charge the client, or do we go in loss for sure?
I mean, see, these are the things which you will have to negotiate with the client upfront, wherein like kind of you should be telling them that these are going to be the deliverables. Again, if at all a project is going to be in loss just because the employees worked extra time, that means that that is an internal control issue. If the client demanded for more output or more delivery, that's again a separate delivery case. But
Understood.
here the for this specific task, 200 hours is required by the intern is calculated by you. If that goes wrong, the client, I mean, I would say that loss we have to bear, I would say, because we'll have to learn from that loss.
Got it. Makes
So
sense.
yeah, for the next project, we'll be like kind of able to charge higher. I mean, we'll have to put extra hours there. That's why I'm putting this 20% buffer also, just not just for the room for negotiation.
Understood. Makes sense. Thank you.
Okay, so after that, yeah, come.
Yeah, Abhijit, sorry to interrupt. Am I audible?
Yeah, yes. You can ask the question.
See, if you go back to the other sheet that you were just explaining to Krishna,
Uh-huh. This
if
one?
you, okay, the 201, I mean, the red card, right? Yeah. So
Yeah.
if you, yeah, keep it here. If you take just two profiles, intern and managing partner.
Mhm.
Now, if I convert into percentage by charging as per this rate card, there is
Mhm.
one intern who can get 100% of the hours bill, and for the same period, managing partner gets only 1%. So I don't know. I'm not an expert in also this side of things. So how is that logically explained? So in my understanding, for every project, every one intern or every managing partner, you need to have 10 interns, is it? Or 100 interns? Because here, 100% of the intern is 1% of managing partner.
I
You
mean,
get
see,
me?
this one
Yeah.
one thing. This is like kind of an hypothetical example, and second thing, see, typically the managing partner here comes just for the review part. So you're telling about the number of hours, right?
Yes, number of hours billed, and that's the revenue, right? The expenses remain the same.
That's why I'm telling you, look at the charge out rate. For the managing partner per hour, it's coming to 12,625. Why? Because 75% of his time, see that you will get from here. See, 70, he's billable only for 25%. That is why his charge out rate is going on a higher side.
Oh, okay. So understood. That is taken care of in that step. Yeah,
Yeah,
thanks, Abhijit.
and like, you just see, we have multiple level of review here. This intern would be coordinating with the junior consultant. They will be helping him a bit. Then the senior consultant would be helping them. Then there is a first level of review from the team lead. Since the team lead has done so much of review, manager does a little bit less review. Since the manager and team lead has done review, managing partner reviews only for 2 hours.
Yeah, I understand this is just a hypothetical example, but
Yeah.
in this hypothetical example, by charging the managing partner for 1 hour, his 100 hours are actually taken care of, right? In the other through the other step.
Exactly. Yeah, correct.
Thank you.
Yeah. That is why, I mean, even when we do the billable bifurcation also, the full cost is not actually absorbed by the billable person. Only after this stage the cost absorption is happening.
Thank you.
Okay. Yeah. So I'll just explain this sheet once more. So here we calculated the hourly cost. Okay. So basically we had the salary of each people there. What is the number of hours in a day? So it's 9 hours. Then idle time can be, I'll put it as break time. It can be lunch break and tea break. So the net hours is 8 hours. Number of days in a month is 20 days, 20 working days. So hours in a month is 20 into 8, 160 days. So when I say percentage of work, this is the actual percentage of time which these people devote to a project. Okay. For the intern, why I put 80% is because 20% they would be talking here and there, they would be wasting time. Okay. Even though they are meant to, like, and there will be a bit of training also. General training can also happen. Then a junior consultant a bit more lower. So if you look at when we go to stage by stage higher, I mean the designation higher, what happens is the percentage of actual work reduces, because manager would be able to, or the managing partner would be able to work only so little, because he is having other tasks. He'll have to take care of the finance of the company. He'll have to overlook the sales of the company. So his actual time devoted to the work is much lesser. So that is why his time is 25% and his actual hours is 40. And to ask the question what Kam has asked, this is where his cost is covered. That's why his hourly cost goes up. Okay. Now we derive the actual hours based on the hours in a month versus into percentage of work, and then we derive at the hourly cost, which is nothing but salary divided by this 128 or 80 or 40, whatever be the case. Then we have found out the multiplier in the previous stage. We multiply it by the multiplier and find the charge out rate. And finally, we create this rate card. Okay. I hope it is clear, everyone.
Yes, Abhijit. Thank you.
Yeah. So if nobody has any doubt, I think we'll wind up the session. If you have any query, like you can feel free to connect with me on LinkedIn or like whatever is the medium. Although, Richa, if you can share your contact number and all those details here, no, it can be better if people want to reach out to us. They can reach out to us.
Sure, Abhijit. You are in LinkedIn as CA Abhijit, is it?
Yeah, it's Abhijit Preman. You can just search Abhijit Preman and you can find.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. I hope the session was useful.
Very, very useful, Abhijit. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, everyone. Bye. Have a nice day.
You've done a fantastic job. Thanks, Abhijit. Bye. All the best.
Thank you, Tom. Thank you. Thanks, everyone. Bye.